Thank you for being with us this evening. Before we start our meeting, I'd like to ask Pastor Stephen Hammond of Bethel Community Church to come forward and give us a community blessing. It's great to see you, Pastor Hammond. Y'all please stand.
Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege and the freedoms that we enjoy as Americans to gather in this place to conduct the business of our city. We ask your blessing upon these proceedings, that every issue that is brought up give our council wisdom and direction and guidance that would be the best decisions for every citizen of Los Banos. We thank you for the abundant blessings that you have given us in our city. We ask your continued blessings upon us. We lift up our leaders. We ask that you would be with our mayor and our council members, give them wisdom and the strength to make decisions with integrity. I pray that you would cover our first responders with protection of your mighty hand. Keep them safe as they protect us and keep us safe as well. We ask your blessing upon these things and upon our city. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. I'd like to call this meeting to order for August 19th, 2026. And Chief, if we have the pledge, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Lucy, if we could have roll call, please.
Perez,
Here.
Yamas,
Here.
Chavez,
Here.
Lewis,
Here.
Amabil.
I am here. And the first thing up is information on presentation of agenda items. And I have a recognition to do here. Salvador, want to come forward, please? We have to look good, so they even have a place for us to stand now. You know, it's all about the image. I'm standing next to a handsome man here. So Salvador moved to Los Banos in 2022 and joined the city on March 4th, 2025, who was previously self-employed as a handyman, performing much of the same work he is currently doing for the facilities maintenance team for the city of Los Banos. He is married with 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl. Sal has been instrumental in remodeling the Miller and Lux building, City Hall, and the old police department. He is also involved in the maintenance of the council chambers, including finishing, technical installation, and decorations. His attention to detail and collaboration and collaborative nature help exemplify our organization and set a high standard for everything that we do. And it's my honor as mayor of Los Banos and the city council to honor Salvador and give him the certificate of recognition as Maintenance Worker 1 in recognition of your outstanding performance and dedicated service to the city of Los Banos for being named Employee of the Month for July 2026. Congratulations. Okay, next we'll go to our city manager, Neron Than. Neron, you want to introduce the next item?
Mayor, City Council, thank you for the opportunity. So as usual, once a month, we like to bring in our new employee and do introductions to council as well as to our community. So for tonight, I'd like to formally introduce our PIO. So Leah, if you can come, and also our part-time admin clerk, Tiffany Gomernet. Tiffany, can you join me? So I'll read a little bio for each one of them. So Leah joined the city officially on August 3rd, 2026 as our new public information officer. Prior to joining the city, Leah was the admin assistant to chief communication officer at Modesto City Schools, where she supported district-wide communications, media relations, marketing campaigns, digital communication, crisis communication, and budget management. She previously served as Public Information Officer for Tahoe Alpine Special Education's local plan area, and formerly she also served as a law enforcement officer, where she gained extensive experience in public safety operation, emergency response, and community engagements. On that note, I want to thank Leah as well, because as you can imagine, last week on August 13, we did have a little bit of an emergency, and it was at 11 o'clock at night that Leah's typing up a press release as well as a communication to our resident, keeping all of us informed of what happened to our water pressure. So her skills in emergency response as well as way to write things to easy to understand come in very handy. So please congratulate Leah and thank you for joining us. Okay. And to my left here is Tiffany Gomornay. She joined the city officially on Monday, August 17, as our part-time admin clerk. She is supporting the admin department. Prior to joining the city, Tiffany served as a development partner with Merced County and a program management coordinator with PSEMC. She holds an associate's degree from Merced College and is a Las Banos resident. So welcome to Las Banos. Thank you. You guys have to say a few words? Good? All right.
We're good. I
All
think
right.
there's a lot of people for tonight.
Okay. All right, next, Chief Reyna, can you introduce our officers?
Thank you, City Manager. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. So I'm very proud today, y'all could stand up and stand to my left. All right, I'll get out of the way here. So I'm very proud today to introduce several new employees that we really recently brought on at the police department. So I'll name them off, and I told them, I think they were told that they did not have to have a speech prepared, so, okay. First is Bradley Rowland. Bradley graduated from the Fresno Police Academy this year, and Bradley was a CSO who started with us in 2024. Next up is Abel Rodriguez. Abel also graduated from the Fresno Police Academy this year, and he started with us as a CSO working in our jail in 2024. Just to my left is Tyler Northey. Tyler started with us as a police officer trainee in 2025, recently graduated from the Fresno Police Academy. And James Sawyer is a community service officer who just started with us recently, and he is assigned to jail operations. Okay, and Cesar Grajada Burgos, he comes to us this year, and he has prior experience with the Merced County Sheriff's Department, so welcome. Mitchell King. He also just started with us. Both of these gentlemen also just finished training, so they are both going to be on the road as of, I think, in the next couple of days, right? So Mitchell comes to us with experience from Augustine Police Department and Merced Police Department. And last, certainly not least, it's my pleasure to introduce newly promoted Sergeant Stephen O'Day on the end there. Stephen started with us in 2019. We sent him to the academy, graduated in 2020, the Fresno Academy, correct? Yes, sir. So he was a COVID Academy officer. And he's done very well with our agency. He recently has completed a term in detectives where he was the detective officer in charge. He has been involved in a number of cases, has left his house many times in the middle of the night to come out and serve our community, and he's responsible for keeping our community very safe. So it's my pleasure to introduce Sergeant Stephen O'Day. And that's all I have for tonight. We will be bringing more to you soon.
Great.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you for the applause to the audience there. We're not done. There's about 18 total tonight. So next we have our Public Work Department, Director Vi.
Thank you. Thank you, City Manager. Tonight we have 4 employees, either new employees or promotions within Public Works, and I'll read off their names, and as they come up, I'll say a little bit about them. Juan Zendejas, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Part-time maintenance worker is one here. He might not be here tonight. Lauren Miklet, admin clerk at the F Street yard facility. I'm 0 for 2. That's not looking too good. Oh, is she? Okay. So Lauren actually is backfilled a position for the next one, Virginia Chavez, who worked at the F Street yard as an admin assistant. And she was promoted to an engineering tech over at the Madison yard, and she started back in July. Is Virginia here? Oh, come on up, come on up. And Virginia's promotion to the engineering tech was created by a promotion from the previous engineering tech to an admin assistant, which came about from an admin coordinator being promoted, which came about from an engineering operations manager being promoted. So one promotion creates opportunities for a lot of other employees that are below them. So kind of a trickle effect. It's pretty good. And then last but not least, we have Mario Iniguez. Mario's here. Mario's been with the city for 10 years now, right about 10 years. Started out as a maintenance mechanic 1, worked up to maintenance mechanic 2, and he was recently promoted to fleet coordinator, maintenance coordinator. I knew I could get it out, which was vacant for quite a while, and Mario was filling in for quite a while for him. So now it's official. So, and you do get extra points if you have something to say. So feel free. Virginia, go ahead.
Me? No, okay. No, I just want to say that I'm super thankful for this opportunity. I did join on with the city not too long ago, so I'm just really grateful for the opportunity and just really thankful for all of the other coworkers that I have. It's been a really great opportunity, and just learning more about how I can serve the city and the others around me, and I'm just really thankful. So thank you.
I just want to thank God first for this opportunity, and I want to thank all of you, the council members, and my co-workers too. And I want to thank Joe Heim too, because he's supporting me all the time, and all the rest of the staff too. Thank you very much.
Departments, Chief Brandon Dornbush.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. So we have 3 new employees to introduce tonight. One of them couldn't be with us tonight, and I'll go over him real shortly. So the first one here is Trinidad Diaz. He comes to us from Clemens Fire. He worked for Clemens Fire for about 1.5 years. He's relatively new. He started in July. And next to him is Braden Woodrow. She comes to us from Tulare County, where she was a volunteer support and worked for Tulare County for about 3.5 years. And then we have Gabriel Carrero, which he comes to us. Actually, this is only his second shift. So he comes to us from North Central Fire District. and he's worked there for about 5 years. I did not tell them that they needed speeches to prepare or to speak tonight, so I won't put them on the spot. But on Friday, they'll have their pinning ceremonies, and hopefully everybody can make it. So thank you very much. Okay.
Last but not least, Director Heim, Parks and Recreation.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I have one to introduce, Miguel Sotelo. Miguel started with us in July. I have a couple fun facts that I asked him. He likes fishing. He wants to buy a house in the next couple years. And my favorite, he makes great homemade pizza, of which I've already had one slice. So we're very grateful to have Miguel on. He's been a great help so far, and I'm sure he's learning a lot. If you have anything to say, I'll give you a moment. All right, get back to work.
Well, that's very exciting for our city and our community. We welcome them all on board, and it's to make our community better and safer and better for our citizens. So thank you all for being here. And now we will move on to our public forum. Members of the public may address the City Council on any item that's within the jurisdiction of this council, and it's on any item that's not on the agenda, because we will be giving you opportunity when we reach the agenda item to speak on it at that time. And this includes also people online on Zoom or here in the City Council chambers. So at this time, you have 3 minutes to speak. Anyone that would like to speak to the City Council, please come forward and state your name for the recorded record.
We do have 2 letters that we'll see, so after this, and then because Mitzi's online, we're doing call vote time for every item.
Good evening. My name is Lori Bellotti. I think you already know me probably. And we're here, first of all, to say thank you to the City Council, the Recreation Department, and anybody else who has helped support building these beautiful new pickleball courts that we now have in Los Banos. We are thrilled to death with them. And I just want to tell you that the play is, I want to give you a little update because I'm not sure if you've been out there. The play is amazing. The courts are full in the morning, and what surprised us more than anything is they're packed at night. And the players are teenagers, people who commute, people who work in town, and they are out there having a great time mixing together, and they're playing until they can't see anymore, until it gets dark. That's how long they're playing. And I thought it would be best to let some of the players tell you some of their experiences.
Great. Yeah, please state your name for the record.
Brad McRae.
Okay.
I don't like my voice on a mic. I'm pretty sure I can project, though. So, yeah, I think I can't say much more than what she said. I see a lot going on. The old courts, I never saw lessons going on. Now I don't think anytime I've gone out there, I haven't seen somebody new learning. And that was the most amazing part to me, is there are new people every day that I was out there. And just the lessons that this guy here gives. So selfless plug for him, Brandon. He gives good lessons. And so thank you again for the courts. We appreciate it.
Every day, huh?
Yeah, thank
You teach me every day too sometimes, buddy.
Hey, Henry, you're up. Henry.
Oh, I think that's a segue to Brandon.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Henry Penamonte, and good afternoon, Mayor and members of the City Council. I just want to say, take a moment to thank you for the new pickleball courts here that we have in Los Banos. Originally, I thought the local pickleball members are going to be playing at the courts, but surprisingly, during at night, when the courts are done, it was, I see a lot of kids, new players, and I'm really surprised. And I want to thank you for that, for giving us the court. And also, I also commute here in Los Banos to San Jose. So most of the time I can only play in the evening. So now that I heard that you guys are planning to put lights this coming winter, so I'm really excited about it. And I'm also, not only me, probably a lot more people are going to be excited that, they're going to get to play a lot more. And that's about it for me. And I want to thank you again, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You state your name for the record?
Landy Salvo, hi. Thank you so much for the chords. They've definitely got me out there and playing, and it's been super fun. But I'm a teacher at Creekside, and I started work a couple weeks ago. So now I'm only able to work in the evenings, and it's really nice going out there, seeing all these kids, all these young people. It's crazy they get filled up, and yeah, having lights will be greatly appreciated. So we can keep going when the days start getting shorter for us. So yeah, thank you.
Great, thank you. Anyone? Dana?
Okay, I think that gives you a little bit of an idea of how things are going. They're going wonderfully, and I invite all of you to come out and see for yourself. The first time I went out there at night, I was amazed. So I hope you can come out, and thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you. Anyone else like to speak to the City Council? Please come forward. State your name for the recorded record.
Sure. Erasmo Viveros, resident of Los Banos. Just want to thank the Public Works Department, City Manager, and the Traffic Safety Committee for quickly taking action once they had all the data in regards to the intersection of 4th and J, putting up the stop sign. I believe they met on the 3rd of this month? And then on the 13th, they put up the stop signs quickly. And I can't tell you how many times up until the signs went up, how many arguments I've heard out my window of people yelling at each other, potential accidents, and how many cars have tried to race for 2 blocks period, period, and how fast they could go in those 2 blocks. So that really slowed down traffic. Again, thank you for listening to the residents of downtown and taking swift action and getting that installed. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else, please come forward. Okay, I do not see or hear anyone coming forward. We do have a few letters that have come in. And Lucy, if you could do the honors of reading them.
Greetings, Mayor and City Council of Los Banos, California. My name is Andrew, and I'm a local citizen who has been living in Los Banos for 2 years. I live in District 1 of Los Banos on Cabernet Street. I moved here because I wanted to start a family in a nice and safe community. Cabernet Street and nearby roads within the vineyard tract of homes are treated like drag strips by cars and motorcycles. I watched from my window as my father-in-law was nearly hit by one of those speeding cars as he attempted to enter his car, which was parked on the street. The roads need to have speeding bumps installed to halt, stop signs to stop sign to stop sign racing. These vehicles are not only a physical danger, but also a noise issue, as my newborn daughter is frequently awakened by loud cars roaring down the street, which results in crying and sleepless nights. All of this is making me consider selling my home and moving somewhere safer and quieter to raise my daughter. Thank you for your time and service to our community. Kind regards, Andrew of Los Banos.
Thank you, Andrew.
And the next letter is, my name is Larry Byers. I live here in Los Banos. At a most recent city council meeting, Mayor Pro Tem Deborah Lewis questioned why trees within the city right-of-way were not being properly maintained by our current landscape maintenance contractor. She spoke about issues including poorly maintained city trees, broken or damaged branches, trees needing stakes or similar supports, unsightly vegetation growing up the sides of city trees. Our Director of Parks and Recreation, Joe Heim, explained that the current landscape maintenance contract does not include provisions for ongoing tree maintenance throughout the year. So here's my question. Can council consider budgeting extra funds for a comprehensive tree maintenance program to provide ongoing tree care in the city right-of-way. This must be done by a certified arborist company. Such companies employ tree care professionals with proper knowledge of tree biology, maintenance, and safety. They can inspect trees to find diseases, pests, or structural damage to keep our city trees healthy and safe. Such a program would protect the city's investment in our 13,000 trees. Thank you for listening. Larry Byers, Chairman, Los Banos City Tree Commission. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Larry, for your letter, and we do appreciate everybody that has spoken in the public forum and also has sent letters. This is how your city council and city staff know what's going on basically in your neighborhood. For speed bumps, you can go online to our website. It actually has a video on how to do the process of requesting a speed bump on your street. And Larry's comments about budgeting, those make a lot of sense, and that's things we can consider. So this is how important it is to come here, write a letter, speak to us, and make sure your neighborhood and your city is the best it can be. Is there anyone on Zoom?
I don't see anybody on Zoom, no.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on then, since there's no one on Zoom, and we will move on to item 7, which are consent agenda, and it's item A through N. So Lucy, go for it.
All right. Items on the consent agenda are as follows. Warrant numbers 259372 through 259736 in the amount of $2,656,833.54. Fourth quarter investment report for fiscal year 2025-26. Minutes for the August 5th, 2026 City Council meeting. City Council Resolution number 7136, authorizing the submittal of an application, acceptance of an allocation of funds, and execution of a grant agreement in the amount of $3,515 with the California Department of Transportation for an airport improvement program matching grant. City Council Resolution number 7137, authorizing the acceptance of a right-of-way, acquisitions associated with the State Route 152 pavement anchor project. City Council Resolution number 7138, accepting the pavement of F Street Corporation Yard parking lot project as complete, authorizing the filing of the notice of completion, and authorizing release of retention. City Council Resolution number 7139, approving a master services agreement with Ion Water Care, Inc. in the amount of $77,070 for 3 years for the Solar Bee Service Program at the Los Banos Wastewater Treatment Plant, and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement. City Council Resolution number 7140, authorizing the city manager to issue a purchase order to Superior Recreational Products through the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program for the purchase of shade structures for Skylock Park in the amount of $32,971.54, and Neighborhood Park in the amount of $11,428.71. City Council Resolution number 7141, amending the fiscal year 2026-27 budget by increasing appropriations in capital buildings and structures for recreation account 100-451-240-720 for expenditures in the amount of $65,000 for the Ranchwood Daycare Facility roof replacement project. City Council Resolution number 7142, authorizing the city manager to enter a 4-year agreement with Motorola Solutions Brink in the amount of $179,997 for the implementation of a drone as first responder program. City Council Resolution number 7143, approving an asset disposition services agreement with PropertyRoom.com, Inc. for the online sale and disposal of surplus city property and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement. City Council Resolution Number 7144, approving the purchase of 7 Motorola APX 8000 portable radios and associated equipment in the amount of $60,000 for the Los Banos Police Department. City Council Resolution Number 7145, approving the purchase of 51 HUXWRX Flow 556K rifle suppressors in the amount of $49,805.33 for the Los Banos Police Department. City Council Resolution Number 7146, authorizing the city manager to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Los Banos Unified School District for school resource officer services for the 2026 through 2029 school years. And the items are to be approved as submitted.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Is there any item that any of the city council members would like to pull for further discussion? Okay, so with that, is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on any of those items, A through N? Okay, and is there anyone on Zoom that would like to speak? Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion for our consent agenda.
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Chavez, second by Lamas, to approve consent agenda as submitted, and we will need a roll call vote, please.
Perez?
Yes.
Yamas?
Yes.
Chavez?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
Amabile?
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll go on to our regular agenda. And on the regular agenda, the first item is item 8, consideration and adoption of the City Council Resolution Number 7147, ratifying the city manager's approval of the employment agreement between the City of Los Banos and Robert Lumiel as employee for the position of Assistant City Attorney. So with that, we'll go to our City Attorney, Mary Lerner.
I'm going to pass it to our city manager.
Okay, he can catch, so that's
Yep, got it. Thank you, Mayor. Tonight is all about new employee. This is another one of those exciting contracts. And again, thank you, Council, for the opportunity to bring these items forwards and to also add staff to increase our capacity to deliver service for our community. As you can recall, the Assistant City Attorney is adopted and is appropriated as part of the budget. As such, since this position is a management position, an employment agreement is required for this contract. So join with me tonight is Mr. Robert Lumelli. He's also go by Rob. So Rob actually has more than 20 years of public sector experience, including municipal law, labor law, public safety, and water issues such as SGMA and water treatment. So if anyone has a legal question, chances are Rob has already answered it somewhere, sometime for somebody. So you probably could find that in records. Rob also has a very unique background as he's not a career attorney, as in he didn't graduate high schools and go straight to law. Rob actually served as a deputy sheriff first, and then he went to law school to become a city attorney. He then served as assistant city attorney under a different capacity, county council. He's also a baseball coach and a golfer. So I think at this point, I think the only public service role that he hasn't held yet is my job. So Rob, I'm not looking for competition tonight. So with that, it's funny thing is that I looked at Rob's resume and things, and for tonight we printed it out just to prepare in case council have any questions. And I went to grab it, and I thought it was the agenda packet. That was his experience and how many pages his background has. So with that, we are very happy to have Rob come on board. So for tonight, we'd like to recommend for councils to ratify his contract. And in his contracts, I'd like to specify some of the term of the agreements. So his effective dates for the contract would be August 24th, 4th, 2026. His base salary will be $234,996. That's annually. Rob will be entitled to all benefits that is received by our management staff per our personnel rules and policy. He is entitled to vacation leave at 120 hours per calendar year, sick leave at 96 hours per calendar years, and administrative leave at 96 hours per calendar years. Rob will also receive paid holidays and all other benefits to our employee. Lastly, he also will receive a car allowance of $500 per month. And that concludes my presentation.
Okay, is there any questions by the City Council? Then I'll entertain a motion.
We should open it to the public as well.
Oh, okay, sorry. Anyone from the public would like to say anything about this agenda item? Please state your name for the recorded record.
Sure. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. My name is Erasmo, resident of Los Banos here in downtown area. I'm excited that we're expanding this legal department for the city. I know California is a very litigious state, and there's a lot of things that go around. My question is what is the cost savings in creating this in-house department versus what we spent over the last, say, 25 years on a yearly basis? And looking ahead at just the city's needs, what are we projecting that this department will grow into, and how has it been integrated throughout the city? Those are some of the questions I'm thinking about from a cost perspective, given the uncertainties of the economy moving ahead. And then I was just looking at the city of Merced. They have a chief deputy city attorney, and it looks like as of 2025, their pay range was 149 to 181. And I'm not sure what the pay range for this one was, but it looks like it was a step 3 in the classification. So just trying to see what is the cost benefit analysis on that and what are we getting in return. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Anyone else would like to come forward, speak? Okay, so before we do our vote, I will answer that question. Before Mary came on board, my first year as mayor, we spent around $1 million on attorney fees for the city. And that's when we decided we had to go from a part-time legal services to full-time. Since then, as was stated by Erasmo, this state is really good with suing everybody with all the time, and we anticipate even more need in the future. And so if you just go back 2 years, it was $1 million. And so you can see what we're saving with 2 employees already. So that was the council's decision at the time to go forward with this. Plus Rob's an excellent person to come on board, and his expertise in the law enforcement end of it is tremendous, and it's going to help our city so much, keeping us safe and keeping our officers safe, both in fire and police. I know, is there any comments you want to make, Niran?
Mayor, if I may also, just from an operational standpoint, I can say that you're absolutely right. Previously, on an annual basis, we run somewhere between $1 million to just a little bit over 1.2, and that was on our consultants or service agreement with various firms like BBK as well as LCW. All those are very highly technical. Because of how expensive they are on an hourly basis, we have a very limited use of them. In the past, department head and such has not been able to use them to the full ability because they are paid out of those professional services and are impacting their budgets and their bottom line from providing service to Los Banos. But like you mentioned before, legal services are pretty much a mandatory things now. Everything that the city does have written agreements, have written law, rules, and things that has to be enforceable, right? So a lot of that takes time, things like even construction law, claims and such. And it go beyond that, employee protections such as worker compensations, all the other the jargon that come with it, especially when it comes to public safety, like the pole bar, FBOR, all of such require very highly technical ability to resolve this. We don't want to wait and be proactive until somebody press a lawsuit. We rather have policy in place that actually prevent those in the first place, and that required guidance. For all the other city managers that I work with, all of them actually praise the ability of having an internal city attorney. Again, with Mary and with Alex coming on board, just with the two of them, we have a significant saving. In fact, I think during our presentations for the budget, there was about $500,000 left that to be able to essentially fund this position, just because in the past, we've been using so much professional services. So for the most parts, I think this will be a wash, actually, with a little bit of savings and surplus from going to internal services. But more than anything, it also creates longevity for the departments as well as succession planning, right? When we transfer a service from professional services to an in-house service, it's very difficult to then go back from in-house service go back to professional services, right? We see some of the issue with nearby cities and stuff with going that direction. So we don't want that to happen. And as such, having this position in place to create that succession planning really allowed us that flexibility and give a sense of comfort for staff as well as for our community that you have a reliable city attorney office. Just for some of the things that Mary and her office been handling, things like PRA, those used to be handled strictly by consultant. Now we're doing all of those in-house. So it's been a tremendous help, and I think our department head can speak to that as well. The level of responsiveness that we get from Mary and her department is very stark different from what we used to have.
Great. Anything to say?
No, I agree with what Neron was saying, and especially the reflection of the prior legal fee bills are not a true reflection of the city's actual legal needs, because that's typically where people try to cut in their budget, right, is the legal, and we'll solve that issue later if it becomes an issue. So good insurance policy. It's better to be proactive and address these things at the forefront. And we're also going to be doing additional things like updating the municipal code, making sure things are compliant with law. So there's a number of other items that we're working on as well. That's it.
Great. And I also know that having someone that is part of the city and their first priority is making our city safe and keep us safe and look out for all our employees and the citizens, it's so refreshing than calling up Sacramento, getting a lobbyist, getting a lawyer up there, being transferred to different phones, wondering who you're going to talk to next. First, you have to start off telling them the story again, because it's been repeated so many times, and then get them on board, and then decision starts making. It's starting to be made. Now, I know a lot of times they do issue a certain lawyer from these firms that represent just Los Banos or something like that. But there's the difference between having your own person in-house and has the ability to be here all the time, hear all the issues, and identify things that maybe a department head or a city council member or whatever doesn't even know we should even look at that. But being in part of those discussions and those meetings and say, okay, we have to go this way instead of that way to make sure we're safe. That, I don't know what that's worth. That's tremendous. So that's why I know the city council was in favor of this, because it's protection to our city and protection to our citizens. So with that, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, before I
Sure.
make the motion, do we have anybody online? No, okay. I just wanted to check. Okay. And I'll just add a little bit to what you and our city attorney has indicated, and we're staying ahead of the game now by doing this. Too often, for the time that I've been sitting here as a council member, it's been about the money. And sometimes you have to look towards the future to see what the possibilities are. And as it's been stated, the state of California is really coming down on municipalities, and we need that legal help to keep us on board and keep us going in the right direction. So this is a worthwhile position for our city, and it is setting us up for the future. And I hope that that, you know, in case Mary decides she wants to retire at some point, which I'm not looking forward to, but everybody retires at some point, there's somebody else ready to move forward, and we keep going, So we're not the small city, even though population-wise, we're still under 50,000, but issue-wise and problems and things and laws and all the updates that we need to do in our municipal code and to make sure we're in compliance with state laws and such is very important. And we weren't able to keep up as well before, and now we're moving in that direction, and it's a positive direction. So with that being said, I'd like to, oh, I'm sorry.
A quick second. Yeah, so I would say that it's a great move that, you know, we're taking this step because I believe that, like she said, you know, we're basically trying to be proactive, not reactive. In the past, it's been being reactive, and I think what happens with the outside lawyers that we're trying to use, you know, you're sitting there trying to figure out, well, it's going to cost us every time we got to call them, so do we really want to call them on that? Where we got someone that's in-house, and we're going to them, and they can see what's going on, they can get ahead of it, they can say, you know what, we probably need to make changes, you know, in these certain areas, the policies or ordinances or whatever it is to stay ahead of it, so, you know, we don't get ourselves in trouble, and that's how you pay for, you know, bringing on, you know, Mr. Lomele here, is, yeah, we're looking that he's going to basically save us that money and then some by not having to be reactive, and then we're paying out a lot more money because we're defending ourselves when we could have been just in front of it and stopped it. That's all.
Right. Everything? Okay. So I'll entertain a motion then.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 7147 as read by title.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Lewis, second by Chavez. As stated, any further questions or comments by the council? Okay, if we could have a roll call vote, please.
Perez.
Yes.
Yamas. Yes. Chavez.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Amabil.
Yes. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Yeah. Looking forward to this.
I need extra points while Mary's still here, and she can't retire either. So thank you all very much for bringing me on board. I look forward to working with everybody here this evening and helping the city move forward in the direction that it's currently moving on. And just really thank you very much for the nod. I appreciate it, and like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Rob. Okay, we will move on to item 9, consideration adoption City Council Resolution number 7148, approving a memorandum of understanding between the City of Los Banos and General LLC for pre-construction services for a fire station number 4 and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement. And I guess we're going to start off with our Public Works Director, Mr. Vai.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. This item here before you tonight is, as the mayor mentioned, it's a memorandum of understanding between the city and the entity that is doing the design build for fire station number 4. And I'm going to read most of the staff report here and maybe add a little bit or take a little bit out so we don't not here too long. The city is advancing the development of Fire Station number 4 and the Emergency Operations Center to address current and future public safety service demands. Following a competitive design-build procurement process, the city issued a notice of intent to award on June 25th, 2026, identifying Queering General LLC and RRM Design Group as the selected design-build entity, subject to successful contract negotiations. During the evaluation of the bridging documents from dated April 1st, 2026, it became apparent that the anticipated project scope may exceed the city's currently established design-build contract amount of $13 million. Before entering into a final design-build agreement, additional pre-construction services are needed to evaluate the project scope, confirm operational requirements, develop schematic-level design documents, and establish a project scope that can be delivered within the available budget. The proposed MOU authorizes the design-build entity to provide those pre-construction services during a defined negotiation period and establishes the responsibilities of both parties while a mutually acceptable project scope, budget, and contract amount are developed. The proposed MOU provides a structured process for the design-build entity to collaboratively advance the project to a level of completion sufficient to establish a guaranteed project scope and proposed design-build stipulated sum. Major services are review and evaluate the bridging documents, meet with city staff, facility benchmarking visits, development of schematic design, preparation of basis of design narratives, progressive cost estimating, development of preliminary project schedule, preparation of recommendations for scope. At the conclusion of the pre-construction effort, the design-build entity will provide a completed schematic design package, basis of design narratives, final construction cost estimate, preliminary schedule, and a proposed stipulated sum for design and construction of the project. These deliverables will form the basis for negotiating and executing a final design-build agreement. The the MOU term is 110 calendar days and may be extended by mutual written agreement. Either party may terminate it if a mutually acceptable agreement cannot be reached. In such event, the city will compensate the design-build entity for services completed through the date of termination. So after that that lengthy process of me reading that, the basics are, it looks like what we initially wanted cost a little bit more than we initially budgeted. So trying to get to that $13 million amount is what we're doing with this MOU. And we're working with them on an active basis to either redesign, cut things back, what do we really need, what do we not need, can we make it a little smaller here? And we're working with them and meeting with them on a regular basis to figure that part out so we can get the design down to within our budget. Once we get there, then we'll enter into the final agreement with the stipulated sum of, as it reads here, as it is now, $13 million. Then we'll have that agreement, and then they'll continue on the process until we get it designed and built and occupied. And I'm here for any questions, and I'm sure the city manager has answers if I don't have them.
Yeah. Mayor and City Council, one thing I want to add in clarification to the amount of this MOU is $283,125. That amount is the total included in the $13 million. So our goal is that with this MOU, even though it is $283 in pre-construction, that it will not inflate our current cost or budgeted amount of $13 million for this fire stations. The major structure component that William mentions too is that originally when we planned for this, it is a fire station number 4 plus an emergency operating center. The core functionality of that will remain. However, it will no longer likely be 2 separate buildings. This is now going to be housed under the same roof, the same foundation, so that we can realize those cost savings and still deliver the exact same functionality as this project intended for. So, thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Before I turn it to the City Council, does anyone from the public like to speak on this item? Okay, is anyone on Zoom? Yes? There's a hand up or no? Okay. So if you're on Zoom, put your hand up. I think it's at the bottom of the screen there. The little button to put your hand up, and then we know you want to speak. So with that, City Council comments before we take a vote and have a motion. Any comments? Yeah.
Just a quick question. With this site, will each of these entities have their own entrance and exits and parking, et cetera? Will that also be part of this design concept?
Council members, so we've been looking at quite a lot of that. So it's not necessarily two separate entity. It has different function, but it's actually our own facility. So it's just during an emergency, now the rest of the other department will be occupying that building as well to basically support an emergency or disasters. The concept that we are looking at right now is very similar to our regional EOCs and fire departments over at Castle Airport. It's a fire department plus a regional EOC, so they do have a joint lobby, but they do have separate functions such as living quarter for the actual firefighters, kitchens, and things like that that's allow for that support. So that's on one side of the building, and then the emergency function will be on the other side. We have not looked at in detail quite yet. This MOU will allow us to look at detail to whether or not we want a separate physical barrier between the two, or maybe it's actually because during disasters, what we looked at with Chief Dornbush too is that usually during disaster, our fire departments are responding to these anyway, and they're working between the two buildings. It might not be necessary, so maybe those are some cost saving that we can realize with this essentially a progressive design build projects, so that we can get the most bang for the buck. Because again, having it like before, two separate structure required two separate foundation, two separate roof and stuff. Those added quite a bit of cost. Thank you. Yeah.
Any other questions by the council? Then so when it'll come back to the city council for approval of the new design?
Yes, Council. So after these conceptual plans, what's going to happen is that it's going to go through a phase, what's called a design-build agreement. At that point, after this MOU, we essentially will have 100% schematic design, or what they call 100% SD. That's going to have the floor plan as well as the site layout and stuff. The only thing that it doesn't have is what's called a construction document, which tell you what bolt size and what color door. So that will be after the design-build agreements. But yes, sorry, Mayor, long answer. But yes, we'll bring back the council.
No problem. Okay, with that, we're looking for a motion for Resolution 7148.
I'll take it, Mayor.
Okay.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 7148 as read by title.
Second.
Here we have a motion by Lewis, second by Chavez, as stated for Resolution 7148. Any further questions or comments from the city council?
No, it just seems like it's like a duplex for emergency services.
Yeah.
All right.
So with that, we will need our roll call vote, please.
Perez?
Yes.
Yamas?
Yes.
Chavez?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
Amabile?
Yes. Item 10, consideration adoption of City Council Resolution number 7149, approving memorandum of understanding between the City of Los Banos and the County of Merced for repaving of Pioneer Road and authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement. We were looking forward to this. With this, we'll go to our Director of Public Works, Mr. Vai.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. This item it's a little bit dated if you read it today, because it starts in the background section that Merced County Public Works Department is completing a repaving project on Pioneer Road. Well, they've already completed it. So about the day I was writing this, I think they were out paving it. It happened a lot faster than we thought it was going to happen. So the county project limits, depending on which way you start from, but I'm going to start from Volta Road and go all the way to the city limits on Pioneer Road. And the city limits are about halfway between the creek and Ortigalita. So their original project was going to stop at the city limits. What we did is we reached out to them and asked them if they would be willing to pave all the way up to the limits of our new intersection at Ortigalita and Pioneer, so that would be one continuous new pavement from Ortigalita all the way to Volta Road, and they were agreeable to that. So that's what this item is. Originally, we were thinking about paving with part of our project all the way to the creek and having the county reimburse us for that portion outside the city limits. But because there was federal dollars involved and that wasn't part of the scope and it was outside the area, we couldn't do it that way. So we found a way to get it done and get that street paved to make the ride a lot smoother. It's approximately 2,750 linear feet. I kind of covered that already. As I mentioned, it's already been done, and the cost for this, working with the county, since their contractor was already mobilized, is only $250,000 for that, about a half a mile of pavement. And I'm here for any questions that you may have.
Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and open to the public. Anyone from the public would like to speak on this item? Okay, is anyone on Zoom would like to speak? No? Well, so, you know, this is what working together is all about. I think we must have saved a lot of money for just you having to hire a firm, staging, like you said, staging, and just getting it all done. What's your guesstimate what we saved?
We probably saved about $50,000, not counting staff time for preparing all the documents that need to be prepared, going out to bid, city clerk's time opening those bids, all of that time, we saved all of that. So I would probably say about $50,000 just in that cost. And then who knows what the bids would have came back. Usually when you have a small project, it costs you a lot more because there's not the opportunity for the contractor to make as much money. So potentially could be over $100,000 that we save.
Great. Open to the council. Comments, questions?
No, I just got a comment. I just want to thank our Merced County Road Commissioner, Nathan Bray, for that. I appreciate it very much. The roads, in and around Los Banos are getting pretty rough, and they're getting worse. But I know you've got a plan, William, and you're going to start rolling on roads real soon. Can't come fast enough. We can go faster. Let's go.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah. Should just come to meeting with a shovel in your hand. Like
Yeah, a hard hat and a shovel.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, somebody else did that. We did actually, just a little update.
Sure.
They did complete the paving for the phase one 2026 rehabs in the Snow Goose area. That was completed already, and now the only piece left of that is the I Street portion. So that contractor made pretty quick work of that portion of the project. So
Good time.
there's more coming.
Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 7149 as read by title.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Chavez, second by Perez for resolution number 7149. As stated, any further questions or comments from the council? Okay, not hearing any. If we could have a roll call vote, please.
Perez?
Yes.
Yamas?
Yes.
Chavez?
Yes.
Lewis? Yes. Amabil?
Yes. Thank you. And we'll move on to item 11, consideration adoption of City Resolution 7150, approving an amended and restated property tax sharing agreement between the City of Los Banos and the County of Merced. And with this, we'll go to our city manager, Than.
Mayor, City Council, talking about the spirit of collaborations, this item is another one of those. So again, thank you to the county and our partners. This really lives up to what we are about, working together for the betterment of our community. Just a little bit background and histories. Originally, as you can imagine, our property value are being assessed. There are a 1% property tax on our property on an annual basis. Out of those 1% that are being assessed on our property, if you ever go to Merced County website, 60% of that 1% go to schools, 17% of that go to county, 3% go to special district, 13% of that go to amongst all the cities, and 7% of that go to fires. So this requires the cities to work directly with the county so that when we annex lands or when we talk about growth within Los Banos, there is some sort of way to cover the service that the city provide or service that the county provide. As such, each entity has to have a way to collect and realize some of those revenue from the property tax to cover those services. So the first original, I should say, property tax sharing agreement was signed on October 21st, 1997. This agreement was then amended in 2016, and it took about 6 years to negotiate between the city and the county to come up with an equitable way to share those property tax revenues. Fast forwards to now, or I guess I should say back in 2016 when we did that first amendment, we only had our general plan up to 2030. So that has a little bit different sphere of influence. It has a little bit different growth trajectory. Fast forward from then, in 2020, early 2020, council went through a whole process of adopting a new general plan. This general plan was subsequently been adopted, and that's known as the 2042 general plan. That has some minor changes to it, that has an expanded sphere of influence, looking at area of service, and then minor changes to land use, incorporating things like environmental justice, houses element, and all of that. At that time, when the councils adopted the general plan, the property tax sharing agreement was still reflected on the 2030 general plan. So that triggers what updates that is required. And second is that when every time the city consider an annexations or bringing in additional property, LAFCO also has policies that require cities and counties to work together to come to an agreement on what the property tax sharing agreement would look like moving forward. So that's what triggered all of this. In comparisons, when we take 6 years in 2016 to do this, we are actually was able to come to an agreement fairly quickly on this, and that is really thanks to the effort of this council, as well as Supervisor Silveras, the county CEO Mark Hendricksons, and the Assistant CEO David Marioni. We've actually was able to come to an agreement and looking at a concept plan for these amendments in 6 weeks. So that is a stark difference in collaborations. And in that, really, the county is essentially saying that Los Banos really understand our service, really understand where our growth patterns are going to be, what land use, and what sphere of influence that's going to be impacted. So they believe in our visions of our area, so they're supporting that as part of our amendment. And now it's included in that amendment is acknowledgements of the 2042 general plan. And that is a huge step forward for our cities, and it really speaks to a lot of collaboration between the county and that council. That's really the major changes in this property tax sharing agreement is now implements your 2042 general plan into this tax sharing agreement. So with that, staff recommend that council adopt the attached resolution and approve this amendment.
Thank you, Neron. Is there anyone from the public like to speak on this item? Is anyone on Zoom that would like to speak? Any hands up? Okay, well, I was part of those meetings too, and again, I was also part of the first time too, and I'll say that that took about 6 months. So you did it in 6 weeks, and I have to thank our city manager because he really put the numbers together, crunched the numbers, and made it easy for the council, myself, and the county to understand where we're going and what we all have to do to work together and make it right for both entities. So thank you, Neron. And but this is 6 weeks is really amazing. It's collaboration at the finest, just like that road. So with that, any other comments from council? Yeah, I'll entertain a motion then.
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 71, Resolution 7150 as approved, as read by title.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Chavez, second by Lewis for resolution number 7150 as stated. Any further questions or comments by the council? Not hearing any, we will need a roll call vote, please. Lucy?
Perez?
Yes.
Yamas?
Yes.
Chavez?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
Amabil?
Yes. Okay. I'm supposed to check, Lucy, with you if there were any other further comments by Zoom. It says there that anybody's commented on anything. Okay, thank you. So we'll go to our brief city department reports. And we'll start with our Community Economic Development Director, Stacy Souza Elms. Stacy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Council. A brief report on the public hearings that will be held next Wednesday for the Planning Commission. The first is for a conditional use permit for L Junior Market. This is located at 740 G Street. They're requesting a Type 20 ABC license for the off-sale of beer and wine. As some of us may recall, this is Lynn's Market on G Street. us OGs of Los Banos remember that. This had a liquor license previously, which has lapsed due to time and the market not being open. The next item is a design review for Watermill Express. This is for a self-service retail water facility within the San Luis Plaza Shopping Center. It's 106 square feet, so just a little kiosk, and it will be located between Wiener Schnitzel and West America Bank. I did also want to highlight that last week there was a grand opening for Cosmos Bar and Grill. That was on Friday, August 14th. They're now open and serving the residents of our community, and we welcome them to Los Banos. And their location is in the Baskin-Robbins Shopping Center. And I hear it's really great Italian cuisine. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Stacy. We'll move on to Finance. Director Minnie Morano. Minnie?
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Park and Recreation, Joe.
Good evening. So we have movie night in the park this Saturday, August 22nd. Scooby-Doo, 6 to 8 p.m. 6 to 8 we'll have activities, and about 8 the movie will start when it starts getting dark. That's at College Greens at 1815 Scripps Drive. We also have our Salute to Seniors tickets that are selling very fast. They're on sale until September 11th, so definitely encourage you to get down to the community center to purchase those. And then our fall youth volleyball registration has also opened, and that's for co-ed ages 7 to 14, and that league typically sells out as well. So get down to the community center or register online. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Go to Human Resources, Director Carlos.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. On behalf of the department, we want to congratulate our 18 new hires, actually 11 new hires and 7 promotees. So the individuals that promoted will now have, as Director Vi mentioned, will leave vacancies and will continue recruiting for those positions as well. Also, my team was able to participate in the Merced County Prospero Job Fair on August 13th, which took place at Breaking Barriers, and they were able to engage participants and talk to them about employment opportunities with the city, and so they had a great time doing that. That's my brief report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isabel. Go to Public Works Director William Vi.
One quick update, the Police Department Firing Range restroom project went out to bid today. We're advertising that for 3 weeks, so that'll be coming to the gun range near you soon. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll go to our Fire Chief, Mr. Brandon Dornbush. Brandon?
Good evening. Yeah, I just have something to report. One of our crew just returned from a strike team deployment. They were out on the timber fire located up the 101 for about 12 days. They're safe and they're back home, but they are exhausted. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. And our Police Department, Chief Reyna.
Hello again, Mayor, Council. Just a couple quick items. School, back to school, everything's going great with the exception of a few little items here and there, just normal things that we have. A lot of patrols, a lot of traffic enforcement, reminding parents to drive slow and operate safely in the school zone. Congratulations to Rob on his contract tonight, and Citizen Academy is going well. That's all I have, Mayor.
Great. Thanks, Chief. And we'll go to our City Attorney, Mary Lerner. Mary?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Just a quick update. Alex, my legal assistant, is at grant writing related training because we recognize that her attention to detail is phenomenal, and we think that could be a good asset for our team. And then thank you for approving Rob's agreement. I'm excited to have him on board. That's it.
Thank you, Mary. We're looking forward to that. City Manager's report. City Manager Naran Than.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. First, I want to thank our HR teams. Onboarding 18 new staff is no easy task, and your team has knocked it out of the parks in making this happen through all the different challenges. And at the same time, you know, when your city manager asked you the night before to go to Prospero, you made it happen. You went. So thank you very much for making that happen for all of us, because we cannot have an organization without having good people working in those. A quick thing about Prospero, as they're coming to Los Banos, they provide great resource for our community. They have a lot of workforce developments. We are going to be working with them on a few different programs here to start seeing the synergy of bringing people on board to Los Banos to work for the city through those workforce developments. So we're very excited to have them on board. This was quite a few employer at that job fair. There was about 5. Now, you guys are going to kind of laugh at me here, but I was standing next to one of the booth, and we were just talking about job applications, and one of the persons there didn't know who I was. She asked if I have a work permit. And if I was going to apply for a job. So,
You're under 16?
I was speechless for a couple of minutes on how to respond to that. But that was a great event. We also get to attend the grand opening of Prospero as well with Supervisor Silvera and the county team. They had a ribbon cutting that afternoon as well. On another note, I want to thank our residents for their patience and understanding of the incidents that happens on August 13 with our water leak. We have issued a press release providing detail of those. It is very important for the city to be transparent on what we are doing and how we respond to situations. Thank you, Public Works. That incident was responded very, very quickly. We were able to get the systems back and running within 2 hours at 11 o'clock at night. Turning on 13 wells into manual modes all throughout the cities in those amount of times take a lot of coordinations, and then we can tell that you've been practiced and that you know how to deal with an emergency situation like this. So thank you again for being out there. And also thank you, Leah, our PIO, for getting those information in the middle of the nights out to our residents. So that way there is one true source of information to go get the facts from. Again, Mayor, that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. And we'll start with our city council reports. We'll start with Mayor Pro Tem Lewis.
Thank you, Mayor. I have just a couple of things. First of all, I want to congratulate all of our new employees that have been hired and promoted within the city of Los Banos. It's really a wonderful thing to see that, and that they are coming to council so that the public can see them and they can be introduced to not only the people and the council here and staff, but to the public in general. And I'm really happy to see that. And we have our Valley Air meeting. We were on hiatus last month, so we'll have our first meeting tomorrow since that. The agenda is out naturally, and it's on the agenda where we have received grant money from the state of California, along with money that we've set aside to offer rebates again to people who want to trade in their gas mores and go electric. Or if not, if you don't trade it in, it would be a lesser amount of money that you would get as a rebate for moving forward from a combustion vehicle. So that's the biggest thing for the public on our agenda. I'm positive that that's going to pass because it's an important ordeal for the Air Board. And lastly, I just want to make a comment, and also leading into a letter that was read tonight about my comments at the last meeting. And I'd like to make a request as well. With our last administrator, we had 3 arborists that were hired for the city of Los Banos. And of those 3, I think Ronnie may have been one of the 3. And ongoingly, he has trimmed trees within the city. And the 2 that we have out front, he's trimmed those on a regular basis. So I don't recall that council has ever been told that it's not in his contract to trim trees. But that process has been done on a regular basis with the city of Los Banos. So with that being said, I noticed that in our bank statement that we have one arborist company that still on board with the city of Los Banos, and I'm not sure what they're doing, but I think I would like to see an update come to us, just so it's clarified for me and the rest of the council as to what this arborist is doing that's trimming our trees. And I think the biggest comment that I had was that about vegetation being appropriately planted in spaces where public have to walk. And I did make a comment that with Ronnie's, there were areas where he had planted some absolutely gorgeous vegetation, but my question was in areas where people have to walk and be covered or run into trees and other plants that are growing into the sidewalk area. So that's, I'd kind of like to have an update for council so that we can know maybe what his duties are, what the arborist company that we still have on board is doing, and if there's any way that we can maybe bring something to council to speak about what type of vegetation is planted in certain areas. I'm not trying to put us in a position of just governing exactly everything they do, but I would like to see something more appropriate and less maintenance to the city of Los Banos for those public spaces. So I appreciate the chairman writing the letter, and it was appropriate, but there's still some unclear things here for me when I see Ronnie's company out there trimming trees, but we're told that he doesn't have that responsibility. So I'd just like to have some clarification on that information. And that's my report for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Go to District 1, Mitzi Perez. Mitzi, do you have a statement for tonight?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I just want to take a quick second. As I'm sure you know, I will be resigning effective at the end of the month. I want to take a couple of minutes just to say how grateful I am to have, had the opportunity to serve, although it was cut a lot shorter than I anticipated and hoped for. I'm still very grateful for the opportunity. Very happy to have met a lot of amazing people. And this did give me I gained a lot of appreciation for our city staff and a lot of respect because there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that the community is not aware of, and I've definitely gained a lot of respect, especially for our staff. I am very thankful to know that. I'm glad to know that the community is left in good hands with our current council. And I want to thank all of you as well just for the support. Even when I first started, you guys were very supportive and gave me a lot of great advice. But that's pretty much all. Just thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mitzi. We're going to miss you up here, and we wish you nothing but the best in your next chapter of your life. So you take care, and we'll be talking more about you probably in our next meeting. But with that, we'll go to District 2. Thank you, Mitzi. We'll go to District 2. Councilmember Refugio Llamas. Refugio?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to say, first of all, welcome aboard to our new hires and congratulations to the promoted. And with that, along with that, I'm happy to hear that we have our personnel going to advanced training to prepare them for advancement. So hopefully we have more of that in our budgets to again, prepare our personnel for advancement. Thank you for the Public Works Department for the work you've been doing, specifically in District 2, and for the rapid response for our spill and the overflow over by, the pizza joint on Pacheco. Long hours, but you took care of it, and I appreciate it on behalf of the community. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. City Manager, but we have the Deanza project at I don't have the technical terms, but Caltrans has accepted our design plan, correct? And now that is out to bid, and hopefully we'll have a acceptance of that bid soon, and we'll keep you updated on that. So that's something that the city manager I've been talking about over and over again. I'm sure he's tired of me asking about it, but it is something that's very important to us as a whole community and specifically District 2. So thank you very much for that. And again, I'd like to say thank you very much to Councilwoman Mitzi Perez. I appreciate knowing you. I know that you were here to do the right thing to help and serve the citizens. So Godspeed to you on your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll go to District 3, Marcus Chavez.
All right. Yeah, so welcome to all the new hires and everybody that's promoted, and of course, Rob himself. I also want to, thank Ronnie for landscaping. Driving around, seeing a lot of work going on, Joe, and they're cleaning up. It's starting to look good. I know we're just getting going, but let's keep that ball rolling. I see they're making lots of progress there, which is good. One thing that I see is, school started up. We got the traffic where we're looking at. I know we have the crosswalks, Pacheco High and stuff. I think we should follow up on that and see how things are going to make sure that, what else is needed there and what improvements can we make in safety as well and work with the school district to get that taken care of. So we have not forgotten. So there are people that are out there wondering about Pacheco High. The other thing I'd like to ask, and I don't know, I know 152 in town is scheduled for next year. That road's not going to hold up till next year. It's terrible now. I'm seeing it already where trucks are starting to drive into the fast lane or the first lane, and now there's big long stretches on the slow lane. And I took that. I was like, wow, I'm going to be free here, but man, I took a beating. People's cars are being affected. Maintenance is going to start costing people already. I don't know what we can do. I mean, I know they're not slated to do the work until next year, but I think if we can have some dialogue with them, can they do some patchwork to smooth it out? I'm talking to them about something outside the city on 152, more work-related, but I have tossed in there about our road in the city, and I think if William, I don't know if Neron, there's something we can do there, maybe to get some patchwork, because the road is starting to really get really bad. So I'd like to see that get worked on as well. And Mitzi, thank you very much for what you did for the city. Appreciate your time was here. Wish it was longer, but wish you well in your endeavors. And my last comment for tonight is going to be for Neron. Neron, I think you just answered the question. Just say yes. I've got a permit. That's it. I got a permit. So let me ask you: do you have a work permit? Sure do. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. And I'll start with tomorrow I have MCAG meeting. Monday I had 2 MCAG meetings in Merced. On Monday we talked about solid waste disposal sites on 59 and also the Billy Wright Road, and we're discussing about purchasing property to expand those sites to get them out to 2060, 2075. And unfortunately, there's a lot of rules coming down from the state about air quality coming off the solid waste and everything, and we're discussing that. So tomorrow at MCAG, we have a Caltrans report, and I will then mention again about Highway 152 if there's something we can do. Yeah, there's some of that right lane is unbelievable how bad it is. Definitely. Let's see, tomorrow also have a LAFCO meeting. It seems like a lot of meetings these days, every month. And we'll be looking at a couple of things in Los Banos. Also, the approval of our storm basin is on there. So, and then, we have our county meeting, Neron, myself, Supervisor Scotty Silvera, and the CEO of the county, Mark, once a month. And we talked about the road, working together with the road, Pioneer Road, and we talk about things like that. We're also talking about, this winter, we're going through an El Nino, and it's supposed to be up to maybe 40% more rain this winter than normal. So there's a lot of waterways that have to be cleaned out to make sure we do not run into problems, trying to be a little more proactive than what you've seen in the past where Las Banas Creek is overflowing and can't handle the water. So we discuss a lot of things, trying to be proactive. Let's see, I was out of town last weekend, and I was in Petaluma, and I was going through always interested in cities and how they're built and what they're doing and what the community's doing. And I noticed their alleyways are named, and they're Independence Alley, American Alley. It was all sort of that type of naming. So I just wanted to throw that out. I thought it was a pretty good idea. And then, let's see. So I got contacted, really was proud in the early 2000s when I was mayor 1.0 to bring on a sister city from Mexico, Bahia de Quino, and we did a whole celebration there in that town. And they are our sister city to the south of us. And then before I left as mayor in 2006, we started looking at other sister cities, possibly Portuguese, Italian, Basque, trying to get in the larger populations and looking at trying to make sister cities out of there. So I got contacted this week by a lady from out of town that is going to Grumenta Nova, which is most of the Italian families are from Grumenta Nova in Italy. That the original Italian families in Los Banos came over to work for Henry Miller. They started leaving around 1895, and it was a mad exodus at that time because there was a lot of good work in California in the Central Valley. So she was going to Grumenta Nova and wanted to know if I wanted to send a letter just talking to the mayor of Grumenta Nova. So I love that kind of stuff. So I said, of course. And then she started telling me that she was related to the first mayor of Los Banos. And so I thought that's interesting. So after many conversations, it turned out that she's related to the third mayor of Los Banos, which was J.V. Toscano around 1914. So she's married, she was related to the Toscano family. Well, I have my great aunt was married to Toscano. Turns out I'm sort of a far distant cousin to this lady who contacted me. And now I just realized now I'm related to another mayor that was, so now it's my great, I guess it was my great uncle, and my father were mayors. So I thought that was sort of interesting. So anyway, we're going to send out a letter and invite the conversation to make them our sister city. I'm looking for maybe someone that could tell me where I should go for the Azores or to make them a sister city. And I'm also looking for the Basque, and if anybody else. I think it's really good community relationships. We always just think about, our country or our state and the valley, but let's look internationally. I think it's great. And so anyway, so we're moving forward on that. And when we dedicated the plaza, I think it was 2003 or 4, we invited the mayor of Breckenstein, Germany, who was where Henry Miller was from. And he could not make it that day. We had this big grand opening, big tent, hundreds of people there, honored the family, the Miller family. It was really a great event. He showed up a week later, and I didn't know this, and then when the city manager and I took him around town, showed him a lot of the Henry Miller stuff, and turns out that Henry Miller paid for their city council, their city buildings, and their courthouse, and the museum in Breckenstein, Germany. No one knew that, but he sent the money back to, I told you a story a few months ago about him giving money to the Catholic Church and the Methodist Church. So he's also building buildings back in Germany too. So it's really interesting. We're connected a lot of different ways, so I get a kick out of that stuff. So with that, we'll be going into closed session. And in closed session is public employee performance evaluation. The titles are city manager to pursuant to Government Code Section 54957B. So with that, is there anyone from the public that would like to speak to this council on this item that we're going to closed session on? No, okay, staff, let's see. Okay, is there anyone on Zoom? Lucy, let's see. Okay, so with that, we'll be going into closed session. If any determination comes out of closed session, we'll be coming here in the public and discussing it to the public with transparency. So thank you for joining us this evening, and we'll be back. Okay, if you're staying with us, we appreciate it. We had a closed session with public employee performance evaluation for a city manager pursuant to Government Code 54957B. There will be no report coming out of closed session. We appreciate everybody who joined us this evening online and also here in person. And this meeting is adjourned at 8:32.